reality to be focused on me. I'm on TV. I am a Vidiot.
And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for clicking on this particular video where you get to learn a little something about comic books. This is Vidiot on Demand. I'm your Vidiot in command. And that I almost rhymed. My name is Philip Williams, and with me I have Oscar Stavamid. Woo! Ow! Yeah, we're doing a little thing on our Nerd Zoom where we're going to basically talk comic books. And now I actually have some of the comic books that I'd like to talk about. I've collected quite a lot, but here we go. This is Miss Marvel. Oh my gosh. Miss Marvel, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are confused, wait a minute, wasn't she a white lady? What was going on? Yeah, there's an in-universe.
Long story.
Yeah, exactly. Miss Marvel, yeah. Captain Marvel, which is the movie that you guys probably saw. She used to be called Miss Marvel, then she took the moniker of Captain Marvel, and they decided they wanted to create a new character that would take on the Miss Marvel character. Now, if you have Disney Plus, there's a unique series called Marvel 616, and there's one where they talk about women in comic books. There, they go into the behind the scenes of how the character of Kamala Khan was created. Basically, there's an editor there who is of Pakistani descent, and she is Muslim, and she has her whole family life that she realized when she would talk to other friends and stuff, nobody has seen that family life displayed in comics. And so she said quite wryly, wait, you know what? We should do a character that basically has this story to tell and therefore get readers that identify with this lifestyle. And I'm all for inclusion. I'm all for representation. And just reading this story is so beautiful because you feel how much heart and effort went into making this feel that you truly feel this is how their heritage is. It really, my heart sings when I read it. Kamala Khan is basically Spider-Man. It is a Spider-Man of the new decade, if you will, of Gen Z.
She's Spider-Man-esque. Like, Spider-Man-esque.
Yes, exactly. Her origins, which is brought up in the first issue, is that she is an Inhuman, and those of you who are a little, what is that all about? And I vaguely remember a terrible TV show about that. Please don't watch it. It's horrible, and it'll make you almost not want to read this. Don't worry about it. But the basic gist is that there are people on Earth who have genetic capabilities. All that they need to do to get those superpowers is to be exposed to the Terrigen Mist. And there's like a Terrigen Mist bomb or whatever that kind of explodes downtown New Jersey where she's from. And she wakes up in a cocoon and it's like, what the heck is going on? She has polymorphic powers, which sort of means that she not only can shapeshift into anything, but she can also stretchy powers like Mr. Fantastic kind of vibe. But the fact that she can sort of T-1000 it is what makes her a little more unique. Because of that, she could take on the form of anything. And when she felt like, oh no, I need to be a superhero, immediately she goes to her favorite superhero, which is Captain Marvel. She just became the tall, beautiful white lady and was like, I'll save the day. It's in that moment where you know that people like me, who's not white, who watches all of these stories, they don't see themselves in these stories. Now imagine if you're in the universe where these stories take place and you're even writing fan fiction about Captain America hanging out with Spider-Man and whatever and what have you, which she is known to do. But then to become a hero herself and immediately going, but I can't look like me because none of them do. And immediately goes for her favorite superhero. That's that heartbreaking thing that where you go, wow, you should immediately go as yourself. But that's not her go-to. And that's an interesting dynamic. And so when she finally realizes, no, I should literally be myself. I'll just put a little mask on because she should, I mean, she could shapeshift into anybody basically, but she's like, no, it's important that I be seen as me, so to speak. And she still does the secret identity thing and still try to make it to school on time and all of that stuff. And it's really wacky. I love the art in the book. There's a lot of moments where you can tell that the artists are having fun with how they're drawn. There's a lot of great background gags is what I think is the most fun, where certain characters maybe be thrown to the side and they're just, wow, the most comically drawn thing in the world. It's hilarious. But at the same time, there's a deeper story going on. And what I like is that, like, when I was a teenager, when you would watch these teen dramas, there was these moments of the will they, won't they kiss, and like when one person realizes they have crush on somebody else, but then also, oh yeah, and we have to save the city from being destroyed. Like, it's stuff like that. And the drama is so good. And I just love it. It's really fun. Miss Marvel is now soon going to get a Disney Plus series, and she will be also introduced in the upcoming Captain Marvel 2. So the wider world will get a sense of who she is. And if you played the Marvel video game, Marvel Avengers video game, she's an essential part of that as well. She's been on a few cartoons, the Marvel Rising series, that's also on Disney Plus, you can check out. So long story short, get your Miss Marvel on, because she is fun, she's funny, she's adorable, she's adorkable. I love that her catchphrase is a reference to an episode of The Simpsons. Did you know that? Every time she wants to, like, if she's in a fight with something huge, she just goes, "Embiggen!" Whoa! And Embiggen is just is a joke from a Simpsons episode. And I'll show it to you now.
Ambiggins? Never heard that word before I moved to Springfield.
I don't know why. It's a perfectly cromulent word.
Isn't that crazy? Anyway, well, that's all I have to say on that. This is a wonderful series of stuff, and she has no sign of slowing down. There's issues where she meets and hangs out with Wolverine, with, of course, Captain Marvel, with Miles Morales Spider-Man. They even joined the Champions, a new group.
Yeah.
And that was a fun read.
Book.
So, yeah, she's a great character, and I like her book tremendously. So I suggest, if you're into it, and if you like nerdy reads, I love the fact that the character herself is such a nerd. There's a really fun bit where her brother was like, I need to introduce you to this girl that he wants to consider for marriage. And there's a great moment where she had just met this woman, and she makes a reference to Dune. and she just goes, "Is that a Dune reference?" And then she turns to her brother and says, "You have my permission to marry her." And then she runs off because she has to save the day. And it's like, that is what I'm talking about. She is really the character from my heart, and she makes me sing. I love it. So yeah, that's all I got for that. Do you have any comments? Does any of this feel... Because I remember we talked a little bit about it. You're like, it's not for me, you said before.
I mean, it's not really for me, but I can't help but I can't, like, deny the fanfare that Kamala has endured, like, during these short years that she's been a character. And, like, she, like, was created 2013.
Yeah, I was about to say, really... I was literally looking at this to find out when the first one came out. And yeah, it's crazy how...
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy how some characters just take off. But I do feel like this character is important to a lot of people, and that representation is one, but she's also kind of unique in her own way, if you know what I mean.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah,
so I may not like Kamala Khan all that much as a comic book character or whatnot, but I do recognize the importance of her.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. That's from us to all of you. Merry Christmas. No, I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, there you have it. A little tip. If you guys want a really awesome comic book run of a character known as Miss Marvel. I'm going to pull out a different one because I'm showing the same ones all the time. You got this one. Oh my gosh. Here's a great one. Oh, look at all the coolness.
Show off.
Miss Marvel. Go for it. Miss Marvel, you can't go wrong. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time.